Hey everyone, I'm Rushlock, this is EVE Online, and this is going to be an intro video for the upcoming video series I want to do regarding the UI in EVE Online. Over the years, one of the most common questions I get from new players checking out the game for the first time, they sometimes have a lot of questions or simply get overwhelmed with the number of boxes, buttons, windows that the EVE Online UI has to offer, and it's understandable. So this video is just an intro for the planning of the next couple of videos, and then also covering the very basics of the UI. So this video assumes you've completed the new player experience, the NPE, and you're probably by now interacting with some career agents, checking out different facets of gameplay. But we'll start up in the upper left-hand corner and work our way around the screen here. So here we have the Neocon Menu. You can see that most buttons have a hotkey associated with them. You can see on the far right of that little pop-up box. Press that just to show you, or you can simply click the Neocon to make this menu appear. There's 4 categories here. Inventory, accessories, business, and social. You can see they'll have extra features within them. And then we have some other options and menus through here as well. Now, everything here on this left-hand side, all these hotkey or hot buttons, I believe are included in this whole drop-down expandable menu. And we'll go into them in more detail. So I'll do a video about inventory, I'll do a video about accessories, a video about business, a video about social, and I'll do a 5th video for all these categories here. But a lot of it's represented here, the most common, most frequently used ones. That covers up the basic menu of the game. Now you can left-click your character sheet. It's your character portrait over here to the left-hand side. Also below it, you'll see a progress bar that will show you your current skill training, how much time is left on it, things like that. Now on your character sheet, it's going to show you your alpha or omega status. This is whether you're a paid account or free-to-play account. Your character name, the birth date, the creation date of your character, the race, bloodline, ancestry options you've chosen, what corporation you're in, what alliance you're in. When your ship explodes and your pod explodes, this shows where you're going to respawn at. This is your security status. This is kind of the tracker between your ratio of player kills and NPC kills. Let's see. Going here, we have let's see, 6 options here for skills, character, interactions, pilot license, skins, and history. Starting with skills, we get a box here with all the different categories of skills, showing your progress of training in each category. You can also search for a certain skill here in this box. It shows you your total skill points to date. If you want to, you can also sort skills by all skills that exist, skills that you have trained currently, skills that you can train at the moment, skills that you have access to if you wanted to go ahead and pick up and you have the requirements covered for them, and also you can look at certificates if you wish. Here's our display window for your skill progress per category. You can change there. Your training queue is here. This is just a list of skills that you can move in and out from this menu. If I wanted to add a Mar Destroyer to my list, I can simply drag and drop it like so. Things like that. Here it shows how many unallocated skill points you have. If you completed the new player experience, you already have some from that activity. Also, if you used a referral link to make your account, you'll have like about 250,000, I believe, to apply from that as well. And it shows you a timer here in the corner. You can pause or whatever you need to interact with. But that's the skills portion of this character menu. The character sheet itself, first box here is Augmentations. This is going to show your implants and boosters that are in effect. Implants are in-game items that your character will plug into their brain to augment their character stats. And this has an impact on skill training time. And then that's usually for slot 1 through 5. Slots 7 through 10, you can go a little more specialized. So you might have a set of implants you use for mining, a set of implants you use for PvP, so on and so forth. But they are clone specific, meaning this character's body will always use these clones. If this character dies and its pod dies, its body ceases to exist, as do these implants. You can't unplug implants and plug in new ones and keep the ones that you unplugged. Implants are permanent augmentations to the clone that you apply them to. So you'll want to make sure that you keep your clones sorted on, this is my PvP clone, this is my PvE clone, so on and so forth. Speaking of jump clones, you can set jump clones in EVE Online for fast transport. There are some limitations about timers and availability and things like that, but the short version is you can instantly transport from location A to location B once per X amount of time based on your skills. And here's where you can see what options you have for where you can jump to. Attributes will show your character stats. Also remapping, if you want to reset the certain values, you can decrease some and increase others. This will also show you how many remaps you have available. I think these refresh every 6 or 12 months. I can't remember the number. Someone in the comments will clarify, but I think it's every 6 months. Here in the biography, actually I think it's annual, but we're going to get distracted. Here in the biography, if you want, you can type up, a lot of people use this for like guide information, like reference tools, like a cheat sheet, Some people put, funny GIFs in here or meme links or things like that. Some people use it for RP purposes. You can type up a story about your character, things like that, but this is all editable by you, the player. And then decorations are an in-game mechanic for usually corporations to dole out in-game rewards to players. They're completely aesthetic. There's no function to them, but it just shows a little appreciation in-game for what you can do there. That shows the character sheet. Interactions. Kill rights. You can read the tooltip here for yourself. Standings will show you standings with various NPC corporations and perhaps player corporations. I think this is mostly NPCs, as far as I'm aware anyway. But liked by, disliked by. So we do a lot of ratting and Provi against Sasha's Nation, so obviously we're not very popular with them. Let's go to security status. Any changes to your security status if you're getting kills in high sec or the like. And then combat log will show your losses and your recent kills. You can search for it, show condensed combat logs, so on and so forth. That's the interactions tab. Pilot license refers to your game time, or Plex. So you can find a lot of different information here, different things you can do with Plex, all under the pilot license menu. Skins is like a checklist. Ships in EVE Online have different visual effects that you can apply to them, and this is a checklist for all the different classifications or categories of skins, and you use this as a cheat sheet to see which ones you're still missing and which ones you still need to collect. Here in the history, sorry, let me try to skip anything there. Yeah, you can search, of course. Here in the history, you have your employment history, what corporations you've been a part of over the years, or however long you've been playing EVE Online. Here we have skills. This will show you your most recent skill trainings completed. So if you log off, for a day, a week, a month, whatever, and you come back and you're wondering, all right, what trained, what completed while I was away, you can check this list here. But that's your character sheet and all the pertinent details. You can close out of there. Next up, we're going to see down here in the bottom left-hand corner is in-game time. If you see people reference a time zone that maybe doesn't match up with yours, and they say UTC, that's usually in-game time for EVE Online. Here we also have a standard chat box. I do have about 6 or 7 chat windows here, but it's just to show you that I like to have local pulled out. You can drop it off to the side here. You don't have to leave them stacked, but you can stack them right back up if you wish. Also, if you want to join a chat, use this little chat bubble here. Let's say I've been watching EVE Scouts on Twitch recently, and I want to learn more about exploring. I would go to EVE Tech Scouts. I would hit join. It would throw the chat channel into your current stack of chat channels. And here we are on their public channel with our resources, and you can talk to folks in here, get more information. Let's go back to local there. Let's say I want access to the chat channel, but I don't need to monitor it all the time. Simply pull it out like this and minimize, and it'll disappear over here to your menu, in the channels area here. You can always re-access these anytime you want. And let's see. Next up, your actual ship UI. A lot of this gets covered in the new player experience, but just for completion's sake, we'll go through these and show that you have your cargo here. If you want to look at your ship contents, your drone bay, different camera options you can go through and experiment with. First-person view, autopilot, obviously never used this. Scanners, so if I want to use my probe scanner or directional scanner or moon analysis, they're located there. Your tactical overlay, you can toggle on and off if you want to see different options there. Here in the middle, you have your shield HP, your armor HP, and your structure HP, displayed both in total value and percentage. Here in the center is your capacitor. This is the energy that your ship uses to power, certain systems and that your ship will end up using. Let's see, down here is your speed being displayed. You can set your speed manually, or you can go full speed or full stop. Here to the right, we can overload racks based on high, low, or mid. This is the high rack, the mid rack, and the low rack. Here you can change modules around anywhere you want. So even though the prop mod, this micro warp drive, is a mid-slot item, I can put it up here. So don't always assume that even though by default it'll show high, mid, and low, you can move things around however you want them to. I typically like to keep my actives up on F1, F2, F3 at the top row here, and I usually put my passive modules, somewhere else just to display for streaming purposes because people ask for your fit or ask you what modules you're using, things like that. It's all customizable. Now, if your ship has the capacity to use drones, for instance, we're in the Astero, and I can use usually a set of lights at a time. I can carry 3 different sets if I want. So because I have drones on my ship, I have a drone window. This will not appear if you're on a ship that doesn't have drones. So I can manage my drones here. If I want to throw them out in space, I can, like so. Just click and drag and drop. See drones go out in space. I can do Shift R will bring them back into my drone bay. That's how you recall them. But you can do all kinds of different things with the drone bay here. Different options in the upper left-hand corner you can go through. Details, if you have questions about them, you can always ask in the comments. We'll maybe do a separate video for drone window itself. Options down here, I forgot to cover. A lot of different things you can go through here and explore. Here we have our default, not overview, but window. The overview is customized, and we can cover that in the overview window. It's also available on the channel currently. But all different tabs for different activities. It shows you, different objects in space, your distance from them, the name of them, what type they are. You can also expand this out and show a lot more information. So if you want to know like who owns it, the alliance, the corporation, its current speed. Transversal will show you its speed in relation to your speed, angular velocity as well. A lot of different information on there, and different activities will, determine whether what you interact with and what you don't need to interact with from time to time. Again, the menu button over here you can explore. Now here we have our selected object item. A lot of your manual activity, like let's say the Fortizar we're next to right now. I can approach it, I can dock at it, I can orbit it, I can keep it at a certain range, I can target it, I can look at it, I can see info on it. But all these options exist whenever you select an item, and you can see we change the station, we change to a Stargate, we can warp to, jump the gate, things like that. Pretty straightforward. Again, stuff that should be covered in the MPE. You're probably already familiar with, but that is the very, very basic. Oh, we do have one more important thing. Well, I guess a couple more here. The bottom right-hand corner, we have notifications. If you're joining a corporation and waiting for an invite, it's down here. If you have a skill train complete, there's just it's a whole kind of tracker for recent events that you may or might not have missed. So get in the habit of checking your notification history. When a new notice is up, or one that you haven't seen, there'll be a blue box down here with a number in it. It'll tell you how many notifications you need to put your eyeballs on and catch up on. And then in the upper left-hand corner, we have toggle buttons that will show you your current location, what constellation you're in, the system you're in, the region you're in, who owns it, if you're in nullsec. Well, even if you're in high sec or low sec, it'll show you what NPC organization owns the space. The indices, I believe, are unique to nullsec. But you can view them here, and again, that's something we can do in a separate video in detail. This just shows you how to view them. But you can actually left-click this, or actually left-click the system name, go to sovereignty, and you can see details there. You can toggle this on and off as you wish. Some people like to have a visual for where they are all the time. If you're in space that you're very familiar with, you'll kind of have a map built in your head. You won't need this as much. Here, you have your routes. Let's say I've set my desto to a certain system. It'll show me how many jumps away I am. You can also click here for a left click, a drop-down box of a whole bunch of different options. But you can explore these at your leisure. Again, you just toggle it on and off as you wish. Opportunities is a system they were using for a while. I don't know if they're still active or not. So for now, we'll ignore it, but at least now you know how to find it. Any status effect being currently applied to your ship will show here, right above your ship UI. So we're tethered to the Citadel right now. It just means that if we target somebody, we can't tether, we can't dock. But as long as we're tethered, we can't be targeted, we can't be shot at. We can be bumped, so be aware of that. But if we're being ECM'd, if we're being remote repped, if we're being target disrupted, target painted, things like that, different icons will appear here above your ship. And you can always keep track of those status effects here. But that's the very, very basic. I mean, this is a, 13-minute video as an intro. So as you can imagine, there are a lot of different details in EVL Online's menu. The future videos will be a lot more focused during, for certain categories. Should be a lot shorter, but until then, check those videos out. If you have any questions, always feel free to post them. You can join us on the Discord server, which will be linked up in the description section below. You can join us on the live stream. You can join us on Twitter, whatever's easiest for you. But post questions that you have, and we'll do our very best to help you out. And we'll see you all next time.